What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Miracle Trigger. Today we're going to be doing a bit of recap. I've been pretty sick since the Toronto Regionals, so I'm going to cover just about all the kind of news that we've had since then and quickly talk about the regional event in general. But I just want to quickly say thank you to my patrons, Akuyaza, Digital Drew 92, Decimus, and Fisky Walkstrut. As always, they're supporting the channel and allowing me to go to regionals and meet new people and meet any viewers or fans who are out there, which is really cool. As well as if I have to take a week off because I'm sick, they help me kind of deal with that. And just a quick reminder as well, if you are looking to win a booster box of the new Bermuda Triangle set that's coming out, if you're leaving a comment on this video, subscribe to the channel, and leaving a like on this video as well, you get a chance to win. You can also get a In Love with the Coco shirt, which link will be in the description, and that gets you an entry into a separate draw for a box. So yeah, hopefully you guys enter in those ways and you guys can win. But with all that being said, let's jump into Toronto first. So Toronto Regionals were last week, and I brought Coco because that's my favorite deck. I did go undefeated again, which was pretty nice. However, because it's a team event, it just didn't end up going all too well overall. I was pretty sick, so I didn't stay around too long after we lost our 2 games, but we did end up going 2-2. I went 4-0. I played against Gold Paladin, Murakumo, Neo Nectar, and Great Nature, so it was kind of a big range of different decks. There was a lot of Neo Nectar in Toronto, which was really cool to see though. But overall, it was pretty cool. Despite being sick, I was able to meet with a couple of you guys. I met with Akuyaza, who was, as I mentioned, one of my patrons. We played a game. She was super nice, and she had pretty much the most amazing playmat I've ever seen, with Tetsu shirtless eating cookies, and it was really fun to play against her. As for the Coco deck itself, it's basically the same list as last time. However, I did swap out Silent Tom for Promise Daughter because with the new Shadow set coming out, it's just easier to target that and kind of negate Gust Blaster's effect, which is kind of nice. Moving on past Toronto though, we can talk about the new gifts, which were announced the other day. So for those of you who don't know, we will be getting 3 new gifts, being Force 2, Excel 2, and Protect 2. They all work in the same way. Basically, when you ride a grade 3 with a gift marker on it, you'll be able to add one to your hand, and on your first gift ride of the game, you'll be able to choose whether you want to get gift 1 or 2 for the remainder of the game. This will also carry through on effects which add the markers to your hand. So for example, Hamsuke's effect, which adds 2 Excel circles to your field, you'll get Excel 2 if you chose Excel 2 when you first rode him. Pretty straightforward. Basically, you're locking yourself into one playstyle, and depending on what you're playing against, you can choose Force 1, Force 2, or whichever else depending on your clan. So what do these abilities do? And I'll quickly talk about which clans I'm most excited to try them out with. First of all, we'll do Force 2. Now normally Force gives a circle on your field plus 10,000 power on your turn, and it does stack. However, Force 2 allows you to change the base critical of a unit on any given circle to 2 instead of 1. This does not stack, as it will only set things 2-2 instead of adding 1. So for example, you could put a crit on your front row rear guard or your Vanguard circle, which is pretty cool. The clans which I think will benefit most from this, and the decks I guess, are the ones which don't require you to ride too often, because there's basically a hard limit on 3 as long as you're not playing the blaster deck for putting crits on the field, because back row won't be affected by it. On top of that, clans which already hit naturally really high numbers will be able to benefit by adding pressure to those numbers. So one of the things that I'm really excited for this are decks like Soul Saver Dragon and Spike Brothers. These decks have tons of big numbers and big attacks, but they don't really do too much overall, so adding a crit is just inherent pressure that they have to deal with. Spike Brothers specifically is something I'm really excited for because they can't take your main Vanguard's attack, because you'll stand one of your rear guards. So giving your rear guards crits basically locks them into choosing if they want to take 2 damage or if they want you to stand one of your rear guards, which is a ton of pressure and it's very awkward for them to deal with. On top of that, any clan that has standing units or standing vanguards, super powerful with this gift. So for example, if you have like a Dragonic Overlord deck that's not running Waterfall, you might consider running the crit because again, having that standing Vanguard with a crit is just a ton of pressure for them to deal with. So yeah, Force 2 goes to clans, I think, that have standing units or that have just big numbers inherently that want to put a little bit of extra pressure. Next up we have Excel 2. This is one that I'm really excited for. It's probably the coolest one to me. So you'll still be getting an extra rearguard circle. However, instead of giving plus 10,000 power on that circle, you'll be getting plus 5,000 power, and you draw a card when you place the Excel circle. So when would you want the extra card over the extra power? Well, situationally, if you're already rushing them down, the extra power might be very nice. However, if you're falling behind, or you're running decks that have a lot of resource management issues, like Gold Paladin, Pale Moon, stuff like that, the extra draw might be able to keep you into the game for a bit of a longer game plan. And in clans like Pale Moon or Gold Paladin, just having an extra turn sometimes can be absolutely nuts. So it's, I think, something really cool to consider, and it's, like I said, probably one of the most exciting ones to me. And finally we have Protect 2. So Protect 2 gives a rearguard unit plus 5,000 power, as well as a plus 10,000 boost to the Intercept skill. So this makes your rearguards much more defensive and much more powerful and offensive as well, which is really cool. This is probably the most powerful of the gifts, I think, in general. The 5,000 boost is on both players' turns, which is insane. If you basically stack 2 on there, whatever that rearguard is isn't going to be going away, so that's pretty great. And the ability to stack 20,000 guard onto an intercept is really big. It's like adding an extra heal trigger every time you intercept. So this will be obviously more susceptible to clans that have bind or retire effects, because they're basically getting rid of your units, which means you're losing the intercept and the power boost. However, if you're trying to play a more aggressive game style, this is probably pretty good. Or if you're playing against clans which basically have guard restrict, things like Kagero or Gold Paladin, this might be a really good option as well. The clans which I'm most excited to test this out with are Granblue. The ability to call units back to the field to continuously get a 10k intercept without losing cards from your hand is insane in my opinion. The deck still is missing that real wow factor, so maybe giving some power and defense to the deck is something that might be what you're looking for. On top of that, Nubatama I think is very dangerous with this. The ability to call cards from your hand in the middle of your turn is terrifying, because they get that 5,000 power boost on both attacks, which is really cool. So kind of stuff like that that are able to abuse the extra attack or abuse the extra defense. And again, like I said, against anything that has guard restrict, this is nuts. So let me know in the comments what you guys think of the new gifts, because I think that it's a really interesting way to add a bit of complexity to the game. You can choose between either one whenever you want going into the game, however you're stuck into that game plan the entire game. So being able to choose between the two will add a level of skill to the game, I think, and being able to, know what your opponent's playing and add a little bit of foresight, a little bit of planning, all that's really good and healthy for the game, I think. And the last thing I want to talk about is that we saw a demo for Vanguard EX, and that's most likely been playing either on screen this whole time or just for the last little bit. But this will be a game for the Nintendo Switch and PlayStation 4 coming out most likely in the fall of next year, and this is basically everything that we wanted Vanguard Zero to be. So Vanguard Zero is a very dumbed down version of the game. I'm hoping it's still good. I haven't played it yet, obviously. However, this is more the complete, like the full experience. I would almost compare it to playing Duel Links versus playing Legacy of the Duelist if you play Yu-Gi-Oh! So you'll kind of get like a feel for the game if you're playing Duel Links, but the full experience is very different and much more flushed out if you're playing Legacy of the Duelist. It's super clean, it's very easy to look at and understand what's going on. It looks very fluid, and despite the people who were testing it being terrible at the game, it looks like it's going to be a lot of fun, and it's very, very pretty to look at. So I'm very hopeful that this game will be great, and 100% I'm going to be streaming it when it comes out. But yeah, that pretty much sums up everything that I want to cover in this video, covering the week that I've been basically sick in bed. So I want to know your opinions on Cardfight Vanguard EX, on the new gift markers, and of course if you went to Toronto or any other regionals, let me know how you did and what you were playing in the comments section down below. Remember, if you leave a like, subscribe to the channel, you're in the Discord, stuff like that, you'll get an entry into a Bermuda Triangle box, or if you want to buy a Coco shirt, again, an extra entry into a separate poll. With all that being said though, this has been Miracle Trigger. Thank you guys so much for coming back for this video, and I will see you hopefully soon with another one. Thanks for watching.